The ILO system is worker-oriented in that it primarily represents workers' interests. Yet, labor rights are affected by both employment and unemployment. It should concern us very deeply that unemployment rates in Africa are some of the world's highest, with many countries reporting between a quarter and a third of their populations not engaged in secure, productive employment. As we speak about matters pertaining to work, we must also speak about the millions of jobless people whose voices cannot be heard at a conference like this. The aspirations of the unemployed matter and should be seen to matter, especially for ILO. Social justice for all makes it imperative to expand the social dialogue from the tripartite model, I suggest, to a four-sided forum of workers, the unemployed, employers, and government. Governments, employers, and workers must be equally concerned about the unemployment crisis and committed to finding sustainable solutions to it in order to bring the majority of the world's population into the ILO's traditional constituency. Majority of the world's unemployed people live in the global south, and especially in the continent that I come from. On average, Africa invests 30% of its annual budgets, or $150 billion, on educating and training of its youth and workforce. Only 30% of them join the workforce, and all the way to 70% stay unemployed. What a waste. This perennial waste of human capital and productive opportunity must squarely form part of the most urgent concerns of workers, employers, as well as governments. Traditionally, it has always been a concern of the unemployed and government. I believe we will score serious breakthroughs when we incorporate unemployment and the unemployed into the social dialogue, and therefore suggest that for social justice to become a reality and for this World of Work Summit to live up to its description, we must expand the scope of social dialogue to bring these millions of jobless people to work. We have benefited tremendously from having a social, political, and economic system defined by work and the contribution of workers.
So, when I listen to President William Ruto talk about unemployment, there is just one thing that comes to mind: Africa. I'm from Africa, and many things are broken in Africa. Many things are in need of repairs in Africa. And until we, the Africans, start figuring out a way to do this, until we, the Africans, start figuring out a way to fix things for ourselves, I think no one is going to do that for us. I have always asked myself this question: how can a continent with so much needed resources be this broke? How can a continent with so much, how can the richest continent in the whole world be so poor? And yet still, leaders whose job are supposed to do things for their people, for their country, and for their fellow countrymen are not doing anything. How come leaders will just stay there and watch their people suffer? How come leaders will just stay there and do not even care if their country or if their respective countries grow and progress? They just stay there. They do nothing. They care about nothing. How can people live like that? You know, if there's one thing that I personally believe, and I stand corrected, If you thought I was wrong, please correct me. If there's one thing that greatly helps with the growth and development of any country and any society is manufacturing. Manufacturing is always an important aspect of any economy. Now, they might progress to something else, but manufacturing helps build the economy. It was the same thing that happens in China. The reason why China is what China is today is because of manufacturing. China manufactures 8 or 9 of any 10 products you will find anywhere around the world. China does that. Manufacturing is very important. Manufacturing helps in lowering unemployment. Africa must figure out a way to start manufacturing things in Africa. Africa must figure out a way to make sure that all the resources that are being exploited in Africa are not shipped as raw materials to Europe, Asia, and America, but there should be manufacturing plants in Africa to process those raw materials into semi or finished product. By so doing, it will create a lot of employment for local Africans. By so doing, the government will raise a lot of tax from those manufacturing plants. And when people have jobs to do, they have money to spend. When they have money to spend, they stimulate the economy of the country. I don't understand if African leaders haven't realized this. Why would West Africa let France exploit their country or their countries, exploit their countries and carry away all the raw minerals? Why? Why will East Africa allow China to just come in, explore raw minerals, and take them to China? Why? Why can they not set up a manufacturing plant in Africa where those raw materials will be processed? Why? And African leaders just sit there and watch these things unfold, and they do nothing about it. They don't even care if their people are employed or not. And that is why Africa has the highest unemployment rate in the whole world. Is Africa. People don't have jobs in Africa. And even the little jobs they have, they are low paying jobs. People are barely surviving. Africans are just scraping to get along. And the saddest thing is, politicians don't care, right? They really don't care. Because you have to understand that these multi-billions and million-dollar companies that exploit Africa, that exploit Africa's raw minerals, give a lot of bribes and handouts to these politicians. So they have so much for themselves and their families. They eat as they want. They eat what they want. That is why they don't care if the commoners have jobs or not, if the commoners have a place to sleep or not, if the commoners have food to eat or not. No one cares. No one cares. Because their pockets are being filled with bribes. Their homes are being filled with ill-gotten wealth. That is why they don't care about the common person in the street. No one cares about them. No one cares if they have jobs or not. No one. Africa must wake up. Africans must realize that it's the 21st century and things must change. Things have to change. Things must change. We cannot keep on doing things like this. We cannot keep on going about things like this. We cannot pretend like everything is okay, whereby nothing is okay. And I like the way President William Ruto has been championing this cause of Africa unity, Africa development, Africa prosperity. I really love it. I think that at a time will come when all 54 countries in Africa will realize that unity is strength and that they being united and fighting for a common cause will be way more better and they will be way more stronger than fighting for their individual cause or squabbling among themselves. That day is upcoming. Watch out. But you guys out there, what do you think about this whole idea of unemployment in Africa? And by the way, let me know how serious is unemployment in your country and what has the government in your country done to address this unemployment issue? Are there any prospect? Do your government officials even care? Share your thoughts and opinion with us in the comment section below because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, please don't forget to like this video, share the video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel because little bit of good way, like the one you're doing just now, help us a lot and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.